presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Today it's live final round coverage of the California Classic. You see the blend of holes here from the long par 5 to the short par 4, now to the 214-yard par 3 13th.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
He'll need to be strong with this. Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
No mistake made there with the par.
Fourteenth hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really: poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in. Ah, nice.
Looks good. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Frank, what's the key here? Second shot at 14.
Green sits up a little bit, well protected by those bunkers there. A nice high, soft landing shot.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And setting up here in the rough.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is nicknamed Turning Home as we are making our way towards the close of this round.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough. Second shot.
Frank, this really is kind of a good lesson. You and I had said earlier that it looked gloomy, but you dig in, you keep fighting, and something good happens.
You have to credit his composure.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Rich, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. In for par. Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16th.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in the bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, This is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, well, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly. So now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Oh, without a doubt. That will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you. This has no chance of finding the fairway. This is turning left.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change in the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so pushes him back to second.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver, There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
TPC Stadium, of course, has played host to the Skins Game, PGA Club Professional Championship, the Liberty Mutual Legends of Golf on the Champions Tour. I always enjoyed that. And along with the Jack Nicklaus Tournament course right next door, the finals of the PGA Tour qualifying school for a number of years.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here.
Pretty good result right there, considering
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich. Really did.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
Frank, this one is veering far to the left.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. Second shot from 130. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Getting set now over the putt. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the 4th. Just 5 feet left. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever. Even par currently.
So, 2 over par for the round. Let's get back to the action at the 5th. It has not gone all that well early in the round for our featured golfer. What do they need to do, Frank, to turn this thing around?
Well, you can't dwell on what's just happened. There's plenty of holes ahead. Look at the scorecard, par 5s to play, things like that. Really pick apart this golf course. There's going to be plenty of opportunities around the corner.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a long putt. Really the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Looks like he just misread that. Settles in over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 5th hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot played just a fraction uphill. And this green, well, it's got more humps and hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Frank, from the Middle East to here in Nevada, you've played desert golf around the world. What does it feel like?
It's fun. It's an oasis. Normally just the drive to a golf course. You're trying to imagine, well, there can't be a golf course around here. Where could it be? Where all of a sudden is one going to pop up? And then over a mountain you go, there it is, a green oasis. And the other thing about desert golf, they look so perfect in amongst that because the backdrop around really makes the golf course itself pop.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Frank, I thought that was in.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Just a couple of feet.
And with that par, moving into the top 25 on the leaderboard.
Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Just a little tap in here.
So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a part of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. You know, that one is going to end up in the rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's costly right there.
Painful.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So they'll tap in. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch. Second shot.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Clean this up with a tap. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Thirteenth hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, well, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side, that is classy.
Well, a chance of going in.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Did the job right there. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels in that. But let's see, birdies that to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here.
Flagstick 150 yards away. Frank, I think what sets golf apart from other sports is that the fan can get so close to the great athlete as the round is being played.
Yeah, well, that's why the sport itself, and we consider it more intimate for that reason. You know, most golf spectators play the game. Whereas other sports, you don't see NFL players sitting in the grandstand. You see spectators, but most golf fans are golfers.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Par yesterday, now for birdie. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance of playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. take you down to hole number 11. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Beautiful looking shot right here.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice strong breeze. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
Locked in on the read and the speed. So the veteran from Spain, Miguel Angel Jimenez, now just 2 shots behind our leader. All right, on to the 12th hole, 442-yard par 4. What do you like about this hole, Frank?
Just a nice par 4 that sort of bends to the player's right. A lot of people will just stand up here, grab the driver. I don't really think you have to do that, Rich. The hole's not overly long. Just something short or down that left side. You're only going to have a short iron in for your second shot. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Good contact, good result.
Rich, these players aren't getting a reprieve with the win right now.
And right from the start, the winds have been kicking pretty good.
Yeah, but at least it's presenting that challenge for the players that don't get every other day.
This will test the player. I mean, it's one thing to play with no wind in perfect conditions, but as we know, golf is a game of variables.
Yeah, and better strike will be rewarded today.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
with that birdie, moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard. Well, this is a good hole right here. Par 3, 225 yard, 13th. Frank, what do you think?
Well, it's called sulfur. I can't remember what element that is on a periodic table, but hardest thing here is not to figure that out, but figure out what club you're going to use. Just a fraction downhill, just over 200 yards. It does narrow up when they start to tick the flag in the back, but there's a nice fat target there, sort of those first 2/3 of the green.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Getting set now over the putt. stays at 1 under with that par. Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right, so the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that sort of right line. So don't be fooled here. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, what are we looking at on this approach shot here at the 14th?
This 14th green just built up a little bit. Got to be careful you don't miss this green on the left side. It'll just kick all the way down, and it'll be a difficult little chip up the hill. But once again, second shot's not too long.
Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high, others might want to play it a little lower and along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich, and really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions, but conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Just 5 feet left. Oh, I thought he had that.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Solid par to remain 1 under. And Frank, ahead on the green, you could have a really crazy putt if you're not careful.
This is probably the most undulating green on the golf course, so you do not want to be going in with too flat a second shot. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
Frank, I'm always fascinated by the way professionals approach the game and how different it is from us amateurs. You're not just standing up and hitting a shot and hoping to catch it on the middle of the face. You're thinking about lower high, left to right, or right to left.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought, really. You're either moving the shot away from something or towards something. So this is a great example here. You could be moving the ball away from the left side of the green, but closer towards the flag.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This would be nice. A birdie on the card. See if he can make it.
Setting himself up for a good weekend, the Wiley golf instructor makes his birdie. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. All set to go, we take you to the first hole. Stepping up to the first tee for this second round, Frank, what's the mindset, do you think?
Has to be, hopefully, like yesterday, where they played extremely well. If we get another carbon copy of that, we're in for some real delight.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. So, Frank, a par 4 to open, and we back it up with a relatively short par 3.
This green's surrounded by 6 bunkers. Green also shaped slightly towards the player's left, so just keep your eye on that depending on where the flag is.
Obviously, Frank, you want to hit good shots at a place like this, but you also want to take some shots. You want to snap off a few pictures because it's breathtaking.
I thought you were talking about big game hunting there when you were saying you don't want to shoot these animals. They're beautiful. No, yeah, it is. It's wonderful to come up here and play golf.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. On the green in regulation. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that, but really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in. This has taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. From the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, what's the key here at the fifth hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers, first one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it.
Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. Good swing, good shot yet again. Good clean contact, a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Well, you have to be thinking about birdie here on this approach shot at the 6th, Frank.
A good aggressive tee shot, pretty close to the narrow neck of that green. Awkward, whether you try and hit a little pitch and run or try and hit a lofted wedge and sort of pitch that ball a little closer to the hole.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. On the tee here at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4. Is this a drive you like to hit, Frank?
It certainly is, Rich, but it's a little narrower than what your eye first sees. And the reason why, there's a tree sort of another 40, 50 yards down the right side past that bunker. So if you hog that right side, that tree can become a little bit of a problem for the second shot.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
And he's made the green and getting ready for the putt. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Bow. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Bow. Dog legs to the player's right. A couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Frank, another scoring opportunity here with this second shot at the 12th.
There certainly is. Even when they stick the flag all the way in the back, which is the hardest hole location, you can still get at it with a short club. Nice sort of rolling, gentle terrain on this green, so chances are you're going to have a putt with a little bit of break in it.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. So a tester from 4 feet. Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There is hope. And on the top 25.
Par 3 13th, it's 225 yards. Frank, you happy walking out of here with a 3?
Yeah, take a 3, go to the next hole, unless it's match play.
Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, or the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move, or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in, because it never made it.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. That's a solid par putt. Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right, so the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that sort of right line. So don't be fooled here.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Now zeroing in on this second shot here at the par 4 14th.
You can keep the second shot a little right of the flag here. The general contours kick a little left here, away from the bunkers on the right. That would be the ideal shot in here.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just 5 feet left. So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Now to the 15th tee, and Frank, this looks like a fun shot to hit.
It won't play its full yardage because of that elevated tee, but a good one out here. We might see one of those 350, 360 plus yard drives.
Frank, what about this second shot here at 15?
It's one of the longest par fours on the golf course, Rich, so you don't want to get too greedy. Green does open up on that left side. You can see that bunker on the front of the green. It sort of protects that right side, so you've got to try and bring it in. One of the few shots you could actually cut it into this green. This golf course normally suits a draw, but this hole here you could do well with one that goes in the other direction.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Frank, you've been there at so many tournaments around the world. One round to go, a chance to win. What's that feeling like?
Oh, this is the fun part, knowing whether or not your body can handle the situation. You've got to push it to the limit. But that's what sport and golf is all about. Trying to do something that you've dreamed of for so long.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today, it's the final round of the Mountain Shootout. Well, here we are at the 14th hole. It's a par 4, 442 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, but if you're spraying it off the tee here, then there's all sorts of problems. Bunkers left, trees right. This is a fairway you must hit. Oh, that's fine.
There you go, 310 yards. Caught all of that one, and straight as well. It's in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Trying to make yet another birdie.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Well, now the par fours begin to stretch out a little bit. The 15th here, Frank, is 475 yards.
Certainly want to put your big shoes on here. Nice big slinging draw off the tee might help go a little further. It does go downhill considerably, so you get a little bit more run out of the tee shot if you did that.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this second shot to the par 4 15th is what you might call a professional's shot. Explain why.
Yeah, there's always an advantage if a better player can shape a shot. So you have a long second shot, but just the way this green is, notice there's a slightly better entry from the left side. So the better player would try and hit a little fade in there. That's what might appear. That might appear the safest shot coming in, but it's going to actually give you the best chance of hitting it close. General run-of-the-mill shot sometimes would just bash it away over that right bunker, but it's not really the way in which that hole's designed.
That birdie will help, Frank.
Certainly moving him into the top half, that's for sure. And starting to narrow that number down in front.
Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunker, you should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you'll certainly hit.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, as we make our way to the house, a chance here at the 17th, just 374 yards, a chance for a birdie.
It certainly is. Anytime you see a hole today under 400 yards of par 4, that is, you know you're going to get a short on your iron. You know you're going to get a short iron in your hand if you hit a good tee shot. Just avoid the bunkers left and right off the tee. Green does slope back to front, so it pitches nicely towards you, making that second shot, if anything, a little easier.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Frank, as we get set for this second shot here at 17, did you like the aggressive play off the tee?
Well, fortunately, you've got a second shot here, but now you've got to fashion some sort of bump and run. But it's a bit dicey trying to hit it all the way up there off the tee.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. And getting ready for the putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
And he's putting for par now. And he makes it for par. Well, Frank, this sets up for an exciting finish here at Banff Springs, a 578-yard par 5.
There's just about a bunker in play for every length of tee shot here, so know exactly which one you can carry and exactly which one you cannot reach. Oh, I liked that.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Safely aboard. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Good birdie right there.
Yeah, this game, when you can't win, it's all about top 10s, top 20s. And currently, that's exactly where they stand.
So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players, and we saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. Major championships are where the world's best golfers rise to the occasion, trying to etch their names into the record books. Today, we will see which golfer grabs the spotlight here at the PGA Championship. It is the season's final major championship here at Whistling Straits Scenic Golf Course, playing host to all the action. Frank, it's absolutely breathtaking, isn't it? I mean, you look left and all you see are the waters of Lake Michigan. It's called glory.
Well, that's one of the amazing things that Pete Dye has done in his design of this great golf course, is to incorporate all the natural vistas that are available.
Frank, this was quite a collaboration between a business giant by the name of Herb Kohler, an insurance salesman with a genius for design,
We know who that is. That's Pete Dye.
Yeah, you put the two together and there's no question you finish up with a masterpiece.
A couple of American dreamers shooting for the stars, and they end up with Whistling Straits.
Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, this looks like a pretty challenging shot into the fourth.
Just like the previous hole, when you've got the lake on the left, you've got to favor the other side.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, I thought he had that. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Just a couple of feet. Still playing even for the day after the par. Frank, you've played all over the world. How unique is this hole, the fifth?
I've never really seen anything quite like this. On one hand, it's an extremely long par 5, but then on the other hand, you have all these options that are available.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway.
Second shot.
See a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's a birdie. That's a good position from which to make a weekend move, comfortably inside the cut line, still with plenty of time left in this tournament. Now over to the sixth hole. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Well, downhill, Frank. Want to play the ball, what, a little further back in the stance, take a club less?
Safely on deck.
That'll leave him with a good birdie opportunity, only about 10 feet away. That's a good shot.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Now at 2 under par for the tournament.
Frank, some of these holes are absolute mind blowers. I mean, this seventh is like nothing I've ever seen.
It actually reminds me of a hole in New South Wales in Australia at the La Perouse or New South Wales golf course. Just the way in which it cuts into the coast. Just a gorgeous par 3.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
So a tester from 4 feet.
That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Hoping to drop only one shot, this for bogey.
That takes him to 1 under on the day.
Frank, just tons of bunkers on the right. You hope the wind is in your favor.
Yeah, and sadly, your mind just about picks up on each and every one of them.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark. Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance. We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
Nice par to remain 1 under. Frank, that was quite a test at Whistling Straits.
Well, 7,800 yards is one of the longest courses you can play. But this golf course extracts every single ounce of game out of you.
Frank, it certainly was a challenge. For my partner Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, we say so long for now from Whistling Straits. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship.